Hello everyone, welcome to Season 4, Episode 9 of Deploy with Garrison. I'm your host, Kris. Joining me, as always, we have Alan. How are you, my friend?
Doing well.
Good.
Glad to be back.
Good. Yeah. We'll not talk about the take 3 to get this intro done. It's fine. We'll move swiftly on. We have a fun-packed show for everybody today. We're going to be hitting the Officer's Mess. Obviously, Alan played games last week, so you know it's my turn this time. So strap in. I've got 2 games to talk about. And then for our main topic, we are planning on not necessarily deep dive list building, but kind of looking at the state of where we are, all of that bunch of products that just got announced and are all up for pre-order, and kind of looking what a stable place in the game moving forwards is. So if you're just joining the game now, what lists you can kind of build with what should be readily available. We'll kind of hit more in depth on what it's going to be once we get to it, but that's our main topic. So yeah, before I take up far too much time just waxing lyrical about Yoda and Wookiees, do you have anything you want to add to Officer's Mess?
Scheduling remains the final boss that is hard to defeat, but I'll promise I'll get games in for next time. It's just back and forth.
Well, you'll have to, because I won't have played any. It'd be your turn.
Yeah, exactly.
I want my time off from playing Legion. No, I'm actually a little bit of a life update. I bought just a small computer desk, which is going to be my painting area, and a little computer chair, and put it in the living room. And it's just going to be my dedicated painting area. So I have somewhere to paint, so I am all out of excuses. So,
I should do the same. I have a little desk. It's just got it's already got miniatures on it, and then it has some swoo stuff on it. I should clear that up and do the same thing. All right.
Yeah.
Note for next time.
Painting progress-wise, I did pick up some used Rebels and some used Separatists, mainly the Separatists because it was an AAT.
Yeah.
And a bunch of B1s. I've got too many B1s as it is, but these ones are already built.
Oh, yeah.
So feels
the
like
hard part's done.
Yeah. But for Rebels, there was a second bus, which is obviously going to go into my Shadow Collective primarily. So then I had to buy a second unit of Black Suns, so they only had one. But I've assembled and primed the Black Suns, so I've got those 2 units ready to paint. And then the first bus that I had, I sprayed and kind of did a blending effect with 2 different shades of grey rattle can in Canada.
Okay.
But I didn't bring that spray paint with me. So then I had to... So I kind of did them both again, but I've got them to the same stage now. So they're ready for weathering effects, and then I'll start picking out details. So they should be fun little projects once I get round to actually sitting there with all of the... it's not Devlin Mud anymore. It's Agrax Earthshade. Oh, is it whatever? I don't know. Lots of different colours that I'm going to be putting on to make them look dirty, and then chipping and all of that stuff. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I hate painting vehicles, but these ones, there's enough on there that I think it'll be interesting. So we'll find out. Find out together.
Little weathering greeblies and things like that you can do.
Yeah. Before I go too in depth, I thought I would quickly talk about the Patreon. Obviously, thank you, Alan, and everybody else for your support. It's been great. But yeah, I wanted to just go through. I've been trying to reorganize it a little bit so that it pings people in the correct way. If you're subscribed to a Patreon, you'll get a message for every update that I post. But the RSS feeds for the podcasts have been broken down into separate ones. So there's a Dice Hate podcast, which used to be the only one, and that's where any is a catch-all. If I do a life update or a random game post or something like that, it'll go into that RSS feed. Deploy with Garrison now has its own RSS feed, so your early access to these episodes goes onto that RSS feed, and you can kind of get it onto your podcast players and not have to be troubled by any lack of focuses or me talking garbage. So it's broken down. I added all of the episodes and the back catalogue to it over a weekend, so that should now function properly. So yeah, if you want to check it out, you can see which podcast you like the best. You can compare them all. You can comment. But yeah, the Patreon is kind of up there, and they do become publicly available. So if you just want a Queen RSS feed to get them from, you can go there and just become a free member, I believe, and get the link that way. You'll just not get the early access. You'll get it at the same time as everybody else. No.
Very cool.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I feel like it was a lot of work, but I feel like it was worth doing to kind of start trying to tidy the Patreon up a little bit and make it actually offer more value to people and make people's lives easier. You know, they're giving me $1. I should give them more back. You know, more of myself. So yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I appreciate it. I hope that does come across how much I appreciate even people who just listeners, you know, just huge fans of the show like Will Shick. I appreciate those people too.
You're just never gonna let that die, are you?
No, never.
Oh man.
Okay, so actually, let's push on before I take up too much time. I played 2 games for Star Wars Legion, and I played them in the same day, back to back. It was almost like a tournament. It was great, apart from my 1 games, so it's fine. Spoilers. I took Yoda Wookiees. I stuck with improvised orders on Yoda, rather than switching to. I was thinking about Force Speed, but still haven't made that change. I've stuck with Force Barrier instead. The next batch, I'm definitely going to trial in with Force Speed because I do think it's going to be viable and kind of shift the playstyle a little bit. And then I had Strike and Fade on my 3-footer craft still. That's been really good. I'm getting better at just using it turn 1 to get out of range.
Okay.
I'll leave this one in range just so it can get shot a little bit and then run away next turn. And it died. Weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, my first game was against an Experimental Droids list.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. It had
still good.
Yeah, it was very good. It had the 2 units of B1s with with snipers. Had a big unit of B2s. It had 2 combat units of BXs.
Okay.
With
swords mines and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, mines. Okay.
Yeah, that scared me a lot because Yoda only has 5 health.
Oh yeah, the poison markers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
3 units of Droidicas. And a snail. And then it had a Kalani.
A single snail.
Single snail, Kalani, and a standard cheap or tactical droid.
The T series?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, T series got. No, T series is still here. The generic super track
the generic super track went away. The standard T series is still there. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think it was 11 acts from memory. That should add up to 11, I think. But yeah, it was a lot of firepower, and I was very afraid of the those BXs just getting to Yoda and wrecking his day.
Yeah.
We were playing Bunker Assault. As a spoiler, both missions ended up being Bunker Assault because turns out Wookiees are really good at it.
Yeah. Would you have a lot of special forces? Who knew?
Yeah, weird. And I kind of brought stuff on in a different order this time. I wanted to bring Yoda on early to get his tokens on the table.
Sure.
Which kind of commits
to be available for everyone.
Yeah. Just on the defensive side, because I knew there was going to be a lot of fire coming into me. So I brought Yoda on. I brought the standard Wookiee battle shields on, bring them on, and kind of try and be armored and slow at the start. but I kind of favoured my right flank. The terrain was better. It was a fairly busy table.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And the more open side for his snail was on my left flank. So if a snail
Gotcha.
wanted
Okay.
a good line of fire, it was probably coming on there. That's where it did come on.
Sure.
But my opponent, as like maybe his third or fourth activation, brought on a unit of BXs. And
Very early.
yeah, and skated them up. And I was like, well, I now have a target for my fluttercraft because I don't like these units. I need them dead. So yeah, all 3 fluttercraft came in and just wiped that unit off the board. And then the game proceeded as normal from that point on. He did use his snail to kill again the fluttercraft. I didn't strike and fade away. So it was still had the activation advantage. But then the second unit of BXs were also kind of wide on my left flank, which I'd refused. So fairly far away from Yoda, but were ready to push onto the bunker on that side of the left, relatively lightly defended. So a fluttercraft all went that way to kind of finish those off while we were in the open. And yeah, once I had both units of BXs down, I was a lot more daring with what I was willing to do with Yoda.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, him and Chewie can get shot a little bit. I don't worry too much about that. But those poison, 1 or 2 failed saves from that attack pool, and Yoda just is in a very precarious position.
Right.
Again, it's the second time in as many games I think I've played against droidicas. And again, I just accepted that they were going to shoot me until I was in range of combat with them, and then they were going to be dead. And that's pretty much what happened. I don't have the attack pools at range to be able to get past the shields.
Through the shields.
It's not worth me shooting at them. Like, a bowcaster shot is going to do 4 shields, but it could kill 2 BX super battle droids, B2s.
Right. Yeah, just outright.
Yeah.
So you just shoot at something else until you get into melee.
Yeah,
and then
just literally
the
just
shields don't matter.
Yeah, they are going to shoot whatever they shoot, and it doesn't matter. The big squad of B2s was a problem. That was the thing he brought on last. So I kind of YOLO'd a battle shield squad into it. No, it was my combat bowcaster squad. Is what I YOLO'd into it early. I was like, this is going to take out my bowcaster, but it's also going to lock down one of his scurriest offensive pieces, because if they walk into the middle of the field and start blatting away, it's a big dice pool, right? And I pulled down 2 from my charge. I did like 5 wounds that I got through. I think he rolled pretty badly on his saves, and just started kind of attritioning the unit down. He then withdrew them. He used the card that gives him disengage, so he could pull them out of the combat and still shoot.
Sure.
So those Wookiees didn't have a good time.
Right.
But then it moved them away. I thought it was going to disengage them towards my forces and kind of clog up the only path through the center. But he kind of pulled them away. And that kind of, looking at the ranges in my head, it's like, well, I've got the old size matters sometimes trick of 3 moves from Chewie. And that was centered around his bunker that I was kind of pushing on. So I abandoned both of my bunkers. I just abandoned them, pushed everything forwards on both flanks. I had 2 units of Wookiees facing down, a lot of droid fire. It was a unit of droidicas, the snail, there was a unit of B1s, both of his Kalani and the T-series were all in this pocket on the left-hand flank. So they annihilated my Wookiees that were just like
Sure.
running through the open, but it stopped him from pushing forwards.
Okay.
And then on the other flank, I just collapsed everything in. I used the combat mechanics to pull him away from objectives, and
Okay.
yeah, it was pretty close until it wasn't. I felt really like it was a very tournament feeling game. The tone of the game was very precise, and I'd missed that when we were defining terrain. He'd said, "Oh, so these pieces are difficult light cover." I was like, "Yeah,
Sure.
This should have been area terrain because
Gotcha. Okay.
they were like open foresty pieces, and it didn't click that we'd not stated them as area terrain, which massively benefits him because he had his gun line, and it now is true line of sight through it rather than being a defined line of sight block. And I deployed and moved as if it were a line of sight blocking piece. So I took a hell of a lot of fire. Nearly like I got some good Indomitable rolls for a change. Generally, if I need Indomitable, it lets me down. But I actually cleared a lot of suppression that game. And kind of I made it to combat with maybe 1 or 2 models less than I would have liked, but it's combat against B1s and droidicas, so it went my way anyway.
Right.
And yeah, I blew up one bunker, which gave me a lead, and then it was like I think he conceded. See, it wasn't gonna get ahead at that point. I could deal with what he had left on that flank, and he'd waited it was turn 4, and he didn't have any his HQs weren't coming out, so he didn't have enough turns to blow up my bunkers.
Oh, right. Yeah, so he couldn't catch up at that point anyway.
He could close the gap and make it a tighter game, but he needed to drive forwards with his tank, and he kept basically aiming. It was fire recover. It would pass it aims, fire, and then recover, so it was a huge dice pool. I'd expected the tank to just roll and be contesting both like his and mine because it's that long of a base.
It's at that long base, yeah.
But we chatted about it afterwards. I was like, I thought like turn 2, turn 3, that tank was just going to be sitting on my bunker, forcing me to have to put effort into trying to kill it. Because as it was, I just accepted that it was going to kill whatever it was shooting, but it was like Buttercraft would have done their jobs because I'd killed both units of BXs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I lost a lot of models, and it was like the closest I've been to like not a tabling, but it was a lot of wounds were caused. But the game from turn 4, it was pretty locked in. Like Yoda getting in, cleaning out the droidicas, the B2s being in Yoda range, and Chewbacca, and you know what I mean. It was It kind of snowballed from there. So yeah, the combat skew did its job. I pressurized where I felt I needed to. I capitalized by charging into units that had already activated, so he couldn't get away. So I was safe from reprisal shots. All of the stuff we talked about last time. It was great.
Yep.
Then on to game 2. Yeah, I was pleased. I was especially. There was definitely a point in it's not area terrain where I was not a happy bunny. I don't know how salty I was. I tried to stay positive about it, but I was definitely unhappy at the realization. We defined it at the start as difficult and light. I suppose nothing goes without saying. It's the lesson to learn there.
Make sure you're both on the same page as to what terrain should be.
I just wanted to start getting playing, it was fine. And it's my own. We had a very disjointed start to a game where we were chatting and like go and get a drink, or one of us go to a bathroom where we kind of set. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
The other thing was we flipped for everything, and then I let him set the table up.
Sure.
So we knew the defined primary, secondary table sides were all decided. And then I went to a toilet while
Before terrain was on there?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes. No. Probably don't do things that way. Just as a tip for people.
Table should be set up before you pick which side you are on, I would imagine.
Yeah, it should be. But it was one of, like, again, we just went to get playing. It was fine.
Yeah.
Or at least
it's a casual game.
If I'd have defined the terrain correctly, it would have been fine.
Sure.
As it was, I would say I was hindered by the table more than I was helped.
Well, you still won, so I guess there's no use whinging about it now, huh?
Oh, no, I'm just making the win sound better now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Humble brag, no.
Look at 5 head on this guy.
We played on the same table for the second game just because it was easier. And then we ended up again, it was playing. It was the same primary. We're still doing bunkers, only instead of the secondary for game 1 was destroy the enemy base. He put his base where he's on the flank that I just refused.
Yep.
And I had mine on the flank that he'd had all of my stuff on it. So we didn't interact with the secondaries at all in game 1. So it was irrelevant.
Gotcha.
And then for game 2, it was destroy the bunkers again, and the scanner one again, where you have 2 and they've got to walk out of your deployment zones.
Yep.
Straightforward. This list was Veers, 3 units of Shoretroopers with heavies and extra with just heavies. I think there were 5-man units.
Okay.
Then 3 E-webs.
Okay.
Callus. A Gav. And a unit of scouts.
Okay.
And how many things is that? I feel like that might be at 10
That's
or 11.
10.
Yeah.
That's 10 so far.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Okay. So kind of an imperial salad. All right.
Yeah, I think that's it. It was yeah. That block all deployed around 1 bunker.
That's his bunker.
Yes.
Yes. This is my castle, and you are not coming in.
Yeah, he had prepared positions, dug in. The Shoretroopers pass into the linked targeting array suppression E-webs.
Oh my, okay.
Yep. So and it's like, oh yeah, they've got like range 5 or range 4, whatever range band is on E-webs now, and obviously long shot.
It's and 4.
Via's walked on behind them. It was like, hey, anyone want some aim tokens? I've got some aim tokens for you all.
Did he have spotter? Did he get the binoculars too? So he's like spotter 3. It's just like, you get a name, and you get a name, and you get a name.
Yes, he did. So unsurprisingly, even with me kind of not going anywhere near it, it still reached out and like blasted,
hammering away at range 4.
My focus again, I put nothing on that. I put 1 unit that could creep towards and just kind of hover, and then I had my ranged Wookiees kind of go wide around on that side, but they were literally there to die. It was so that he wouldn't reposition away.
It's something to keep him occupied.
Yeah, you can kill these 2 units are going to die, but if it occupies 6 or 7 of your units and just keeps them there blasting at me, I'm happy. My first thing I wanted to kind of get rid of was the scouts, because I didn't want them pushing on me too hard and kind of wrecking my day.
Yeah. Yep.
I've got those secondaries the wrong way around. This was blowing up this was the one that was blowing up the bunkers.
Okay.
Destroying the base. The other one was the scout one, because that's what put it beyond him. Was I blew up a bunker and contested his dropped scanner. That's what gave me. That's what gave me such a big jump. Game one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the base was in his castle.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got one of his and his base is like.
Yeah.
This is Fort Shoretrooper.
Yeah.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. Callus and the scouts were what's the card for the operative to give them strike team leader.
Strike team leader.
Yeah. So I wanted to try and deal with the strike team of the scouts. My footercraft kind of moved around, and I shot them, and they just passed all his cover saves. And I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be bad. So then I stopped shooting those. Then the Gav turned up, so I shot that instead.
Okay.
I had I killed the Gav really early. Activation 1, turn 2.
Oh wow! Just poured it on, huh?
Yeah, like
I got unlucky rolls.
I high rolled 1 or 2 shots with the ballcasters, because it's impact 1.
Oh yeah, Pierce.
Impact 1 Pierce, and I just put wounds on it, and then I had a footercraft that was on 1 wound. So I actually, turn 2, I used the 1 pip Wookiee command card.
Sure.
I had Chewie still on the table to issue the order, so I got the dodge, the surge, and the aim. Obviously, surge doesn't matter, but whatever. So I fired, strike and faded, moved, and then compulsoried.
Sure.
But that shot blew up the Gav and got my 1 health fluttercraft all the way away. So he was displeased about that.
I can imagine why. He blew up my tank.
Yeah. And then there was a little bit of... I still feel confident about the game and the kind of a back and forth of it, but it probably shouldn't have turned into a stomp, but it did. I had units that had pushed onto his bunker that the tank had been guarding.
Yep.
And I'd taken the scouts down to 2 models.
Okay.
So the scouts are kind of not really a threat anymore. It's sniper. It was basically a sniper team now.
Sure.
Which did put a wound on Yoda turn 1. Yeah. Yeah. He high velocity Yoda turn 1, and I just failed my save. I was like, oh, cool. There's 1 wound on Yoda. Because Chewbacca hadn't come on yet. So
yep. Couldn't guardian it.
Yeah. Basically, Callus charged a unit of 2. I had 2 Wookiees left in the unit. Callus charged in and did 0 wounds.
Yikes.
It might have been like 1. It didn't even kill a Wookiee, but he left me on it was 3 and 1. So I didn't take a model off. And then something else was in the combat with him. I can't remember what it must have been 11 activations, and it was whatever this other unit was that I'm just blanking on completely. And he just couldn't kill me. Oh, it was Mando. That was it. It was Mando. He had he had Din Djarin was the 11th unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That makes sense.
Yeah. He whistling birds, got nothing. Like literally, he had a charge because I'd engaged into Mando to push him back because he was carrying his bomb to blow up my base.
Okay. Yep.
And I wanted to just push him back so I could leave that behind and start attacking his objective. But yeah, I had 2 half-strength units fighting Mando and Callus. and he just couldn't deal with them. It took him a full round of activations, and I killed Mando from under his with the Yoda. I did size matters not, got Yoda in, and yeah, it was like Yoda just left Chewie. I don't need you today, Chewie. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. The firebase hurt, and that's why like all my units that were making combat were like half strength. But he had just that one turn meant, and the Whistling Birds failure meant that I blew up that bunker a turn before I probably should have. Which then I had enough stuff to be able to start pushing into his firebase. And once you've got it like surrounded and Yoda and Chewie are in charge range, and
reaching that castle is easy.
Well, I mean,
at a certain point,
he didn't feel really bad. He was really worried about playing Wookiees from the start. He said that he's only just getting back into a game, it sounded like. So his only experience against Wookiees when they first came out, and you had the arcs with the old fire support, so you could do all of the surging, all the weird clone shenanigans you used to be able to do. So I understand why he was hesitant, but I was like, it's not that list anymore. And then he was like, oh, this was exactly what I expected to happen. I was like,
heartbreaking.
If Callus does a wound and takes that Wookiee down, and then like Mando, if a Whistling Birds need to do a wound and it's a unit dead. But it failed on the Callus charge. Mando's activation was a little bit below par, and then the Whistling Birds just blanked on everything.
Yeah.
And at that little dip, the tank, I think I put enough fight. It was Chewie's bulk, it was 4 ballcasters, and I had the range 2 shot, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, it was at least 4 ballcaster shots into it. There was a lot. Okay. A lot of fire.
But still, like losing that activation top of turn 2 is a hard loss to come back from.
Yeah.
Especially when you only have the one. I mean, that's just me from the heavy side. Typically, if you lose a heavy that early, it's gonna be rough.
But yeah, he said it wasn't the list he wanted to play. He didn't have a model. He didn't have any more scouts. But obviously, they've just come back out. Kind of, we'll get to in the main topic, kind of thing.
Right.
But he kind of built from what he had. Like Mando was supposed to be like 2 more units of scouts, which would push him to like 12 activations.
Yep.
Like I was talking to him about maybe drop an E-Web and a Shoretrooper to put something in the Gav to be able to get out and use its transport capacity, or that kind of thing. Basically trying to optimize points to be able to allow a right control squad.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, it ended. I blew up his bunker, and I blew up one bunker and the base, so it was like a crushing, like really one-sided score line. That was, I think I had 1 fluttercraft on like 1 wound. That's the other thing. My fluttercraft in the mid game, when he needed to recover, I just passed saves on the fluttercraft. But I had Yoda on 4 wounds left. Chewie was undamaged. And then I had maybe 3 other models, like not units, models. I had maybe 5 bodies maybe on the table.
Oh my! So that
some of those Wookiees were on 1 wound because Whistling Birds didn't kill them. So that's like, the score line sounds really, really
you did the mission, but boy, boy, you paid for it is
Yeah, and
okay. Yeah, that changes my view on it because I'm like, man, that Firebase sounds really nasty, but did he skew too hard into, you know, Fort Shore Trooper? And maybe, but I don't know.
like that's the problem with like the speed is still a problem, right? Because I couldn't then push it
Yeah.
once I'd dealt with his aggressive side, he couldn't win the game anymore because his
'cause he doesn't
defensive
move fast
side
enough.
won't get there.
Right.
So because it's prepared positions, I get to react to it, and I just ignored it until
Right.
all I have to do now is get in there, and as long as I've got more units than you, Yoda blows it up, and it's fine.
Right. Yeah. So I wonder if it's better than maybe to just maybe 3 and 3 is maybe too much. Maybe do like 2 and 2.
That's
Is
what
it better?
I think is 2 and 2. I'd go for a double-sized stormtrooper and a riot control. I think you can. I kind of went through it in my head with other changes, and it kind of gets. And especially like changing Mando into some more scouts, you get to like a 12-13 Atlas that still has a very punchy fire base, is a little bit more mobile, a bit more reliable, has the counter punch for the assault. Well, not necessarily counter punch, but can kind of stall out a unit of Wookiees a little bit better with the right control troopers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You just need something with mobility because having the castle being half of your list or over half your list in this case.
Yeah.
Because Veer's just going to sit back and just support.
Yeah,
that
Beers
fire
isn't doing
base.
anything exciting. So.
I mean, it's a neat idea, and I'm glad somebody tried it, but that was kind of always my suspicion with doing, like revisiting the Iden 333, which is very similar to that, where you have the fire base of 3 shores, 3 mortars, and then other stuff. But because they're so slow, it's like this is where they live, and they are just going to be pouring on high quality fire, but like that's their role for the game.
Well, and that's the thing.
I think the game is too mobile right now.
Yeah, and that mobility is especially because like by the time I was shooting his dug-in E-webs, they didn't have cover anyway because I was shooting them from behind them effectively.
Yeah, or the flank or whatever.
Yeah, so like, you're not in cover anymore, so dug-in doesn't help you. And I'm firing down along the trench now. It's fine.
Right. You built the trenches wrong. You're supposed to have Z's. You always have cover.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But yeah, that was my 2 games. It was good.
Cool. Well, it's interesting to see what the Empire is doing these days. I'm glad it put out the hate, even though it didn't do what it needed to do. But it kind of makes me lean more into the direction I'm going to, or trying to make a very hyper mobile Empire.
Yeah, I mean,
seeing how that does.
I would have really liked to see Callus push the 2 or 3 wounds through that he should have, and the Whistling Birds finish off. Because then Mando can focus everything on the remaining one, and I think then it's a really close game.
Sure.
Like that, if that plays a little bit tighter inside that bell curve, it's a really tight game, and I've got to properly work to. I still blow up his bunker. I think I don't know that I get the base as well.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So maybe we shouldn't read too much into the game just because there's some weird outlying dice for a couple things.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, anything before we move on to main topic?
Well, you told me that this gentleman that played your game joined the
Discord,
Discord, and so I'd like to hear his thoughts. Let's see, who is it? Commando Archer user. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the Discord as your game with Kris, because I just want to see what the thoughts were behind your Empire list and how you thought the game was. So let's chat.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll get the again, wasn't a fan of the riot control, but they've changed a little bit now. Imperial March will be good. Whatever. There's a lot of options. So yeah,
Yep.
and I did buy the Rebels off him. So I bought the
Okay.
Rebels off. So hopefully, he can reinvest some of that money into the Imperials he wants.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So looking forwards, what are we going to talk about, Alan? Do you want to explain it? Am I explaining it? Are we?
So just kind of thinking about, we've definitely hit the reset point in the game. We're finally in our new edition, and all of the stuff coming up. We're getting into Q3 with all of the products that were coming out that were announced at Adepticon. So all of the starter boxes are up on pre-order. A bunch of the re-release units are customizable commanders. They're all up for pre-order. So I just wanted to kind of talk about, all right, what does Legion look like now for new players, returning players? What kind of options do we have for starting fresh, and what that kind of looks at? Not necessarily like list building, like you said before, but more of like, hey, what kind of options do we have? What should we look at pushing?
Yeah. But so we didn't discuss this in the pre-show, but I've gonna do an honorable mention because I think it's worth talking about. There's a bunch of cheap used stuff at the moment. And I don't think it's because people are dumping the game. I think it's because people are dumping their old models to get these new ones.
Sure.
Like the B1s that have just been in there. That's why I got a bunch of B1s, right? Because people want the new ones. It's not people getting out of the game, it's people wanting the hard plastic. So like I've got the Rebel Troopers I'm gonna like paint a list with and kind of explore and experiment. But at some point I will sell a full Rebel army because I want the new sculpts.
Sure. And
so
plastic.
Yeah, I think that regardless of what's going on, that we're going to kind of focus the rest of the episode on. I think that it's definitely an honorable mention of like just check out your local Facebook buy sells because there's some real bargains around at the moment. Like I think I paid £50, maybe what, $70, $72, $75, let's say, for an AAT, like 40 B1s, and 2 units of Droidicas. Like it was a lot of Separatist stuff, but I was like, yeah. I mean, I only wanted the AAT, but I might as well for that price. I'll take it all.
Yeah.
The same with this Rebel lot. I wanted the second bus. It's like $50. Yep. I got a Sabine, a Mando, a bus, 3 units of Rebel Troopers, an AT-RT. Like it was $50. Well, $70, 50 quid. Like, I've got. I mean, I probably have a playable army from just that one purchase. I'm not saying it's the best Rebel wish you could make, but like, feels okay. You've got options. Double Mandalorian with Sabine and Mando. Be great.
Absolutely.
What could go wrong?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So there's definitely stuff that still can be found, but I think for the purposes of our discussion, we wanted to try and look at, okay, that's going to be varied. It's not going to be necessarily reliably available for everybody, right? So what can we build and what can we look at as archetypes for what people should have available once these pre-orders come in? Maybe you can start planning on, okay, I want to pre-order X of these units, Y of those units, etc. So you can start kind of getting an idea and jump in with both feet, hit the ground running type of mentality for whatever army that you want to look at.
Yeah. So the arbitrary line we were going to draw in the release schedule, we didn't want to go to just the new packaging because it felt a little bit disingenuous. But we also didn't want to go too far back because I know that some of the things are harder to find in different places. So we're assuming that Range Troopers onwards from a release schedule. So it's Range Troopers, Bad Batch, Sweeper Cell, and Riot Control are still. It might not be in every local game store, but you should be able to source them without too much problem in your whatever geographical location you're currently in.
Yeah, you should be able to still your LGS should still be able to get those on order if they don't have them in stock. So I know I bought the last box of Riot Squad, and then in their next order they bought another one to put back on the shelf. So
yeah,
like they're still very much available. They're the last of the old box, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're not going to talk about anything that's in old packaging before the Range Troopers. So, Sunfac and Poggle, Fifth Brother, Inquisitors, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to kind of touch on those things. We're going to move onwards from there. So do you want to kind of go by faction or just overall, like, grand overview of what products are available kind of thing?
I would say let's go ahead and hit them by faction because I think that'll help us focus a little bit. Otherwise, we'll just be bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, well, I think we should hit Rebels and Imperials first in that case because I think that they're the starter sets that are going to arrive soonest, right?
Correct.
So obviously we have a lot of really cool stuff.
It's good stuff. Obviously there's the starter set. So I'll hit Empire first because my boys Empire.
Oh man, you get to do Rebels ruined.
Nah, wrecked. I'm driving this bus.
Yeah,
you can drive the bus when it's your turn. Ha ha.
I will for Rebels.
But yeah, there you go. So Empire obviously starter set is Stormtrooper, Scouts, and Vader. But we also have additional Scouts. We've got a bunch of we've got the Outlaws, so re-release of IGs, Din Djarin, more Stormtroopers and Scouts, but also Riots. We've got a pretty good breadth
and Range Troopers
options.
as well, right?
Range Troopers as well.
As the oldest one, yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit limited as far as options for good old Empire based on our criteria, but with I think with Riots and Storms, Imperial March, we have a good option for a lot of heavy core base and being able to push through. We've also got the Veers expansion.
Yeah, Veers Vader as a separate pack. You have the customizable Imperial Officer in there as well.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, we've got a lot of good options as far as the Empire is shaping up to be the very much rank and file heavy core is I think the identity that they're aiming for.
I think that's the play style you have to look at if you're going to explore new Empire as well, like starting from scratch. I feel like there's viability in the foot slugging that we have available because of I believe they all have access to Recon Intel and now Imperial March. So you can make a decent mobile foot slugging list that's going to get to where it needs to be to apply its firepower. You've got those powerhouses like Vader, and again you can Darkness Descends if you want to get in there quickly.
Yes, you can.
If you
and being able to compel troops, like Vader is going to be very important doing that, just because if you're going to have a lot of troops, being able to compel them, make sure they get 2 actions every time is going to be important.
I think Range Troopers add a nice support element there as well.
Yep. Or if you want more mobility, the Scout Troopers are very respectable. Used a lot of them with Tempest Force previously, and they're still solid. They are more fragile, but they punch hard.
Yeah, so I've been running Sonic Mine, frag grenades, scouts for a while, and like they do one trick, but they do that one trick real well.
Yes.
Now you've actually got viability in the riot controls as well. Having them, like you're actually having that threat saturation that we spoke about in that combat skew discussion last week, where if you've got Vader closing in with the riot controls, you've got these scouts pushing there as well. That's a lot of threats that people have to react to. So I think there's a viable list in there, and there's some different skews you can go. Like you can lean more into some big box of stormtroopers. We're going to sit back, have your range troopers, take Veers, and kind of have that punchy shooting list.
Yeah.
Or you can have the Empire pushing forwards with Vader at the fore. Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and we don't know anything other than about the customizable officer and agent, but I mean, they're going to mix things up too. I would imagine quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially taking over for the spot until we get a reprint of Callus. Like, I think they're going to fit that kind of cheap operative that has its own effects.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
Even again, just as a secondary threat, right? Being able to use, like the way you'd use Jyn Erso in a rebel list. Like,
yeah,
it's just about controlling people's movements, pulling them around. There's a lot of scope, but you could do that with the Imperial Agent, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll hit the Rebels then.
Sure.
So yeah, we have the Rebel starter set, which has got Wookiees in it. So, I'm going to be happy there. You have Rebel Troopers, Wookiees, Luke Skywalker, and some Saboteurs, I believe. It's Saboteurs, not Sleeper Cell, right? Yeah.
Commandos.
Commando, yeah. Sorry, Saboteurs went away. Is that right?
Well, there's a Saboteur mini.
Yeah.
In the Commandos box.
Yeah. So it gives you that strong, nimble base for Rebels, right? Where they tend to live at the moment.
Yep.
If we push back a little bit, we get all the way through. We have Rebel Troopers, Rebel Commandos. We are missing a little bit of combat power, I think, but like you still got Bad Batch and Sweeper Cell because we're allowing those through.
Yep.
So
both solid units.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of pushed into that close range fire, that range to CQB playstyle. Like you want to kind of get in there, hit hard, ride out to the reprisal fire, and then pull them back. Like use your dodge tokens hopefully, and hope you've got enough bodies left after you annihilate them, or that you've just got to do enough damage that they can't shoot you back.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same thing that Rebels has been, is the plain squirrely, being very dodged up, hard to kill, punching hard. So sleepers and Bad Batch are an excellent start to your Rebel list. But also, I mean, Rebels are very much the Hero Hammer faction still. They've got their Heroes of the Rebellion character pack. That's also in there. So you could get Han, Leia, Chewie, Jedi Luke, in addition to Commander Luke.
Yeah.
They've got their own customizable commanders coming out, and the bus reprint is on its way.
Yeah.
So
I was going to kind of touch on
a lot of good options with Rebels.
The only thing that concerns me a little bit is that I don't actually see a Wookiee box in here. So if you want a Wookiees, you've got to buy them from the starter. But Wookiees in the bus can give you a huge swingy punch. I've been respecting it more. Having played lots of Wookiees
fit in the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, sleepers in a bus too.
You can put sleepers in, but you kind of waste a scout move, right?
Potentially.
It feels bad to me to waste that scout move. But the other thing I was been thinking about more with the bus in that style of list is that the unit you're transporting aside, it just blocking fire lanes to those troops. So you only effectively get one activation to punish the unit that moved up on you before this big slab of AA5 parks up and you can't shoot because it blocks your line of sight now. So now you've got to shoot the bus instead. Yep. So I feel like, again, because you're the Imperial player and I'll be the Rebel player in this instance, I feel like it's a more cerebral list to play.
With the Rebels, yeah. I think I'd agree with it. I mean, the Imperial March is just the Imperials is just the Imperial March. We are marching forward. We are shooting. You know, it's almost like CIS Horde level of I'm marching forward and shooting.
Yeah,
but a little more survivable than droids. And then Vader is, you know, it's the perpetual hallway scene. Like Vader is coming for you, and good luck stopping him.
Flinging rebel troopers left, right, and center. Be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, you have a bus, but I have a Sith Lord.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll make the corridor for him to walk down. It's just buses on either side.
I'll take it. It's still hallway. It still counts.
Okay, do you...
Just on the way out the door, I would be remiss in saying you also have Din Djarin in Rebels.
Yeah.
So, like, he's a pinch hitter that goes, yep. Going both ways with those ones. So
you know. I have a question. Are we going to allow Ahsoka into Rebels? Because you've got the Ahsoka miniature, and the cards will be in the card pack. Because I think this makes a huge difference to what you can and can't, like what play styles become viable, right?
That's an interesting. I mean, for casual play, I would say yes, but for if you're going to a Galactic Conquest event, they probably won't let you get away with that. You'll have to have the actual Fulcrum model. So casual, go do what you want, man. But maybe not for the purposes of this discussion.
Genuinely, I don't know, because it's a model that cannot be confused with any other model in the list.
Yeah, and if you're Rebels, it's very much not going to be Padawan.
It's an AMG model, and you know what I mean. So I
fair
would,
argument.
If I was going and I wanted to play Fulcrum in Rebels and the model wasn't readily available, I would do it and dare them to tell me I'm wrong. Because I don't think they would.
Yeah,
this isn't an endorsement. If any TO wants to be the bad guy, feel free. You know, if you want to be that person, like, oh no, you can't. You'll just have to go on eBay and buy one for $400 because there isn't one. I've got one. I'll let you rent it for $50. Or you can get out of my event. If you want to be that TO, that's up to you. Personally, I would be okay with it.
Yeah. Ask the big TLDR here is talk to your TO. Most all TOs are going to be pretty chill about it. I wouldn't worry about it, but go ahead and ask just to cover yourself.
Yeah, 'cause then you get to do Bad Batch and Fulcrum and rock people's worlds.
Yeah, there's that. You don't get the Sabine yet, but she's coming.
No, you don't have the operative slots for it anyway. So.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Fair point.
Yeah. Happy to transition. Do you want to? Which way do you want to go? Because I feel like I feel like you want to do Gar. I feel like you want to do Gar, but there's a wheel bike that's just like, oh, talk about me.
No. I picked first last time. You get to pick this time.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking the wheel bike. Screw you.
Yes, you are. Okay. All right. Well, why don't you lead us off then?
So, I think that Separatists probably come out of this the most competitive faction if we, under the constraints that we are arbitrarily assigning. I think that
Yep.
Separatists come out as the most competitive faction because
I
they
agree.
have a lot of tools here. The starter set, when it lands, obviously the starter set is going to land after the Civil War. It's a
Yes.
late release, and
Yep.
I'm struggling to actually find. There it is. There it is. So
Hiding.
Grievous, Droidicas, Super Battle Droid B2s, and a whole host of B1s.
Yep.
Oh, it's
a lot.
It's a lot. Obviously, you the only thing you can't get outside of a battle force, much like the Wookiees, would be the Droidicas. This is currently the only way. But if you're struggling for Droidicas, message me. I've got so many. But so, I mean, people will buy 2 of these. It's just good value, right? $99 for that is tremendous.
Yeah.
The real key, I think that at the highest competitive level, it does almost lock you in because we've got Aquas and Crabs, which we've been seeing a lot of success. One of the few factions to have that heavy option. Obviously, the Rebels have the bus, but Gar and Empire are currently missing a heavy option. Aquas are probably the one that you would want the most of. The Crabs, solid. So you can go Crab, Droidica, Aqua, and you're kind of at the races, right? The rest of the list is irrelevant.
Yeah. But both cores are also solid options. You have more B1s, more B2s. Like,
and
those
you
have
have Geonosians as core as well.
Yep.
You have that, and there's a lot of interesting play you can do with Geonosians. They fit into a lot of different battle decks for how you want to kind of play them. So they're very interesting. We have no idea about the Super Attack box, so we can just assume it'll be something cool and it'll have spider legs, but you know.
Yep.
Then
of course the latest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Grievous on his wheel bike. Yes, please. I'll take some of that. He is going to I don't even care. It could be 200 points and like terrible. And for a model alone, I'm probably going to take it.
Yep.
But realistically,
it's a cool model.
It can't possibly be a slower way to deliver those full lightsabers.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be real cool.
Yep. I'm excited. I genuinely think that there's a lot of stuff to play with here. As on a serious note, I don't believe that Grievous will fit perfectly into what's currently available. I don't know that there's much that can probably keep pace with him. If you're happy to have, if you've got your tactical droid to actually lead your army, this Grievous can just go and cause trouble and have to be dealt with.
Yep.
But he isn't going to have his support just yet. Wait on that one. Wait one.
They did tease that there's going to be like Magnas and BXs on the bikes too. So, but I think the short summary is I think CIS has the most options in this kind of arbitrary reset bracket that we've set. Like, they've got a lot of, their most recent releases were released in the new boxes, and so they've got a lot of varied options for their stuff. And more to come. They're in a great place.
Okay, do you want to lead us through some GAR action?
So starter box, pretty straightforward. We've got Obi-Wan, we've got ARCs, we've got ARFs, and infantry. We've got boxes for all of these, so you can get everything that's in this box. You can get in a standalone box, which I think Empire is the only other option that has that.
Yes,
Empire has standalone boxes.
They announced Vader and Veers, so yeah.
Yep. So we've got options with that. We've got the marksmen have finally been put out in pre-order, so Gar has a second core on the
Yep.
horizon. It's going to be interesting to see where they fit because they're that lower prepared position deploying unit.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see how, as far as clones go, how they would fit in, especially with clones arcs being very, very hypermobile in the current game to see how they fit. Marksman may end up being one of those units that doesn't
Well,
quite fit in the current meta, but will
there's
eventually.
probably a skew that lets you take the arcs and the marksman somewhat. There'll be something we're missing with arcs,
Sure.
and that range 4 terror kind of list that you used to see quite a lot. I'm sure someone will be able to bring it back and just get weight of dice from across the table that are unanswered effectively.
Sure.
But yeah, at the moment, I feel like you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Obviously, they go back as far as Bad Batch for them as well. So
Yep. Bad Batch is solid. We got Ahsoka both as a mini that you can add to a unit and commander, so commander and Padawan, and we've got
yeah,
the Cody rebox.
yeah,
Cody is he's a solid unit by himself. He got cheaper, so he's a
yeah,
good unit by himself to splash in. But until we get more vehicles, he's probably not going to shine as much as he could. But you can
yeah.
also just always do the 2/12 of it's Cody and Obi-Wan and just meme it up and have
Yeah, and
fun.
I feel like that's the only way you can kind of pull it off, right?
Yeah.
You'd get no vehicle units at all, right, at the moment.
Not
For
currently.
yeah,
Um yeah, we don't
um,
have any new box vehicles for Gar. So it's going to be very trooper heavy if you're starting this out. But I mean, you have arcs, you have Ahsoka,
you have lightsabers
and
as
Bad
well, right?
Batch.
Because we have
You've got
customizable,
lightsabers and Bad Batch.
yeah, customizable Jedi Knights and Generals is a thing that exists
Yep.
now.
Yep,
So
that's coming out as
like
well.
Ahsoka, you've got Jedi's in the Earth, you've got these Jedi, you've got Obi-Wan. You can
Got a lot of
slice and
lightsabers.
dice. Yeah, you've got almost as many lightsabers as Grievous has.
Almost.
Some fine
I'll
additions
bet
to my
you.
collection.
I think it was hinted that you could get some double-bladed lightsabers with your
I don't believe they've shown the sprue, but I believe the sprue has been leaked for
Ooh,
what
I haven't
lightsaber
seen that
options
yet
there
though.
are. And oh no, it's on the back of a box. So yeah, if you click on the box, you've got the Jedi Guardian lightsaber with a longer hilt.
Oh yeah,
You've got double
the
bladed. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got double-bladed and the like
Yeah.
saber pike type of things. There was
Yeah.
a name for that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was it's a Japanese name where like the blade is the same size as the handle, but I can't remember what it's called.
No. Um, lightsaber go brrr.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I I think that Gar can be just as competitive as CIS, but I think you're
Yeah.
locked into a very specific playstyle with them.
Yes. I would agree. Like the options they have are limited, but they're
The
all
the
extremely
lack of
solid
armor,
options.
the lack of armor and vehicles does hurt them at the moment because Code is very efficient if he has a vehicle. Is
Yes.
He might be so efficient that he can get away with not having a heavy, but
Well, it's just any
I'm not.
vehicle
I'm not.
really
Yeah,
is helpful with them,
yeah.
but
And the command cards as well, right? There's a lot of synchronized command cards for them, and so yeah. Are we allowing Wookiees in there? Because you could buy a Rebel starter to get a Wookiee box.
I mean, if you
I would
want,
say don't do that personally. Just wait a little longer. Or find someone who bought a Rebel box who doesn't want the Wookiees. Those people will exist, I promise you.
yeah, I you could, but it's the same problem we've had for a while. But ARCs exists,
Yeah,
and ARCs are
the
still
arcs, the
far
arc
and away
box
a
is
good
there now.
option.
So yeah,
Yep.
I'm sure
You get starter
they've
box
got,
arcs, you get regular arcs.
Yeah.
I think arcs are still outshining Wookiees.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Yeah, I think that's a good overview of kind of where a faction is going to exist. Obviously, all of the cards, like honorable mentions, go to the cards and like the terminal pack and everything. Like, you don't have to buy the starter box to be able to play, but everything's available separately now, or will be available separately.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
3D objective tokens look
Yeah.
cool for hobbying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've got the master switch in there. Or did they? Do they? Yes, they do. There's a master switch.
And some boxes.
And some boxes.
An ice cream maker.
Yep. Cantono or something like that.
Yeah.
What do they call that? Rhydonium.
Yeah, I think
cool.
That's
cool. More minis.
I'm trying to think if there's anything we really need to talk about, or if we can just wrap it up there. I think we're done, right? I don't think there's anything else that needs covering there. Yeah, I think that regardless of what order then those models are still available, obviously, if there's a saber tank sitting on the shelf, buy that, and Cody's going to be good to shine. But I don't think you need to stress about. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, don't stress too much about what isn't there. There's an interesting meta around what is available, and locally in your own play groups, there's going to be no problems at all with doing these early start campaigns. When the campaign system drops, it's going to support these releases. Everyone I've spoken to who's like are looking to get into Legion are all hyped about doing these recon games. So I think that there's a lot of fun things to look forward to.
And frankly, you're not going to have a lot of points left over at 600 points for a vehicle unless you really, really want a vehicle. So
yeah,
if you're playing at recon level, I wouldn't worry about the vehicles being missing at all. What we have here is going to be just fine for that smaller recon game.
That's it. Just don't choke on your ambition.
Aspirations.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Either way.
Yeah. We'll just deploy our garrisons of troops and it'll be fine.
Yep.
But no, that was great. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you all next time.